Hello, everyone, and welcome to Interfaith Ministries Worldwide. Wherever you are on your journey of spirit, you are welcome, loved, and accepted. This is a way of life where we honor all paths to God. Now is the time that we're going to set our tone and center ourselves and prepare ourselves for service. Let's all take a deep cleansing breath all the way down to the soles of our feet. Join me on our Gandhi chant and repeat after me. I offer you peace.
I offer you peace.
I offer you friendship.
I offer you friendship.
I offer you love.
I offer you love.
I see your beauty.
I see your beauty.
I hear your needs.
I hear your needs.
I feel your feelings.
I feel your feelings.
My wisdom flows from a higher source.
My wisdom flows from a higher source.
I salute that source in you.
I salute that source in you.
Come, let us work together.
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 And so it is.
So it is. It is Passover time for our Jewish friends. It is Palm Sunday for our Christian friends. It is spring for all of us with brand new beginnings. Do you know you are never going to be closer to God than you are right now? No, never. And I'm never going to be closer to God than I am right now. We do not evolve. We unfold because the presence of God is always ready in us, through us, as us. Let's take a moment. Let's take a moment to recognize the God of many names, the God of many cultures, the God that is pure love, pure forgiveness. If there's anything unloving in you at this moment, just let it go. If there's anything that needs forgiving, forgive yourself in this moment. Because in this very room, there's enough love, there's enough joy, there's enough peace for all of us right here, right now. And so it is.
Oh, yes. There's quite enough peace, quite enough love, and quite enough power in this very room. In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. And there's quite enough peace, quite enough power to walk through my every fear. For spirit, God's Spirit is in this very room. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. And there's quite enough peace, quite enough power to walk through our every field. The Spirit, God's Spirit, is in this very room. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough peace, quite enough power to walk through our every field. For Spirit, God's Spirit, is in this very room. Is in this very room. Oh yes, there's quite enough love, quite enough peace, and quite enough power right here in this very room. Give us that one moment in time when we're all that we could be. Give me one moment in time when I'm all that I knew I could be. Oh, I dare. In that one moment in time, I will be. Oh yes, we will be. We will be free. Oh, you're for a lifetime. When you live each moment in time, let it shine. Give us one moment in time when we're all that we knew we could be. Oh, I dare. In that one moment in time, I will be. Oh yes, we will be. We will be free. Oh, yes, we will be free. Oh, we will be free. Well, once again, hello everyone, and welcome to Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide and Interfaith Ministries. We want you to know wherever you are on your journey of spirit, you are welcome, loved, and accepted. This is a way of life where we honor all paths to God. Our mission is to heal, inspire, empower, and prosper the world through love, prayer, meditation, and by sharing the principles and applications of successful living. Now, first off, I want to let you know that if you or someone you know is having a birthday, anniversary, or celebration, we're sending our love out to you today on your special day. Also, if you or someone you know is in need of affirmative prayer, please place it in a comment box and know that our ministry of prayer will pray over it for 30 days because we do know affirmative prayer does change things. Now, I know every week we have new viewers who are asking themselves, what is interfaith ministry all about? Well, I'm going to tell you right now on what we believe. We believe in God, the one power, presence, source, and substance of all that is, whose will for us is eternal bliss, love, health, prosperity, and good fortune. We believe that God is within us and we can use that power to accomplish anything through our desires, beliefs, thoughts, words, and actions. We believe there are many paths to God. We embrace and support every person's right to worship as he or she chooses. We believe in the law of life that states we get back what we give out. And so it is. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, here we are in April. This is Palm Sunday. Next week, we're going to have our beautiful Easter celebration. It's going to be at the Leisure Center in Palm Springs in the community room. And we're going to have special guest Alicia Breen, and we're going to have Dr. Stephen Scroggins. And that's going to be next week. And we're going to broadcast it live, but we're also going to be in person right there at the Palm Springs Leisure Center in the community room from 10 to 11. So please join us. Also, if you have any shoes laying around in good condition, we'd love for you to bring them if you're no longer in need of them and donate them to our Shoes of Love, Sharon's Shoes of Love. Dr. Damien will tell you more about that right shortly. So I'm going to state our affirmation, and then if you would like to, please join me right afterwards. I am thankful and grateful for all my good.
I am thankful and grateful for all my good.
I'm in harmony and balance with life.
I'm in harmony and balance with life.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Reverend Damien.
Thank you, Fleet. I'm going to read for my reading today something from Aristotle. And Aristotle was a student of Plato, Plato being a student of Socrates. And this is about the year 384. Aristotle said this: "We ought, so far as it lies within our power, to aspire to immortality and to do all that we can to live in conformity with the highest that is within us. For even if it is in small in quantity, in power and preciousness, it far excels all the rest." Now, this was Aristotle. And then Jesus in A Course in Miracles says this: "If you want to be like me, I can show you how. Because we're all the same, we're all alike. But if you want to be different, go ahead, be different. I can wait patiently until you change your mind." So today, my reading is about us internally looking inside and seeing the God that is within us, making changes to how we unfold that godness that is already in there. You don't have to try to be good. The goodness is already in there. Now, next week, which is Easter, one of our guests is going to be one of my favorite people in the world. Her name is Anne. Anne is a transgender woman, fabulous transgender woman, fabulous spiritual transgender woman. And she's going to be sharing a little bit about her journey. My talk next Sunday is Rise and Shine, Leave the Grave Clothes Behind. So life is about leaving behind what no longer serves you. Maybe it's a gender that you were born into that is not who you see yourself as. How do you make that transition with your spirituality? You be the spiritual being that you are. It's going to be interesting. A little bit of Anne's story. And Dr. Stefan Scroggins, who happens to be Kanye's cousin, is going to be doing a brief little talk on some of his journey as well as the music. So you won't want to miss next Sunday. And then, see this basket of goodies? You know, we're doing so many things all the time at once that I sometimes see myself spinning. This week, coming week on Thursday, the what I call the drag bunnies, Jacqueline and Lady Cleveland, are going to be at the DAP Health Center, which used to be the Desert AIDS Project in Palm Springs. And in the morning, late morning and early afternoon, they're going to be giving out these Easter basket goodies for the patients, the clients, and some of the staff there. So we want you to be blessed as we move forward in our spring season and as we move forward to our exciting first time to be in a brick and mortar place next week.
Thank you so much, Reverend Damien. Well, you know, here at Interfaith, we believe that all paths to God are good. Because you know why? It's only one power. One power, one power, one power. There's one power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power, indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angel's wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the Lord that lives in you and me. One power, one power, one power. We speak so many languages, different colors, different clothing, different names. But different is only dangerous when we know in our hearts we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such differences were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Ashon or heaven's door. It's Mohammed, it's your mind, it's your soul, it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love that lives in you and me. One power, oh, one power, one power, one power. Oh, it's just one power, oh, one power. It's a moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's a freedom of forgiveness. It's a sweetness of release. It's a joy of inspiration. It's a sunshine on your face. It's a birthright of all nations. It's a boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby. The serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon. It's love that's most deep. It's one power. Oh, it's just one power. Yes, it's one power. Oh, one power. It's just one power. It's the power of the love that lives forever in you and in me. It's the power of the Lord in you and me. One power, oh, one power. It's just one power. Oh, yes, one power. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Reverend Damien.
It's no accident that you've tuned in today. No accident. For we have been called here today by Spirit for this time in this place to make a difference in our world. Let sink in for just a moment that there's one power within each of us. That is a power that is connected to one another. And that is a power that we call love. It's the Easter season, Passover season. We mentioned Buddha, we mentioned Allah, we mentioned Jesus in the song. What a beautiful song. I could sit and listen to the song again and not say anything this morning because it's such a powerful song. But do you all realize that Buddha wasn't a Buddhist? And do you realize that Jesus wasn't a Christian? And do you realize that neither Buddha, who lived 500 years before Jesus, ever was about having a movement built around his teachings? And do you realize that Jesus didn't set out to have a worldwide congregation with 10,000 seats and rules and regulations and dogma? When he said that I've come to fulfill the law, and the law is that you love one another. So what was the scene in Jesus' time? I'm going to talk about Jesus today. And I'm going to talk about Jesus as my friend. You know, I've told this story several times, and I'm going to tell it again today. I was at the Ralph's supermarket one day, and I was in line, and this lady says, "Oh, Jesus Christ." And I said, "No," I said, "that's my elder brother. I know that we look alike because love, acceptance, forgiveness runs in our family. But That is my elder brother. And the lady said, I don't know what you're on, but I want some of it. So, love, acceptance, forgiveness is the tone that runs in all of our lives. So, in the time that Jesus was here, the Jews were ruled by the Romans. Now, correlate that time and this time. There were bandits in the street, there was assassins, there was robberies going on in the countryside, there was mayhem, there was wars. Does it sound like yesterday in your town? School bombings, senseless shootings. There was chaos. And they were looking for somebody that would come along to end all the chaos. But it wasn't happening the way they thought it was going to happen. Now, Jesus was Jesus of Nazareth, which was in Galilee, which was about education. Okay? So understanding that Aristotle and Buddha and all of these great spiritual minds were before Jesus ever came, that Jesus being about education studied some of the great philosophies of the day. Now, the groups of people that were involved in Jesus' day were the Zealots. The Zealots, they propagated violence to overthrow the Romans. We don't like the government like it is. We're going to do a January 6th. Oh, that was us, not them. The Zealots were going to have violence to get our way. And then you had the Sadducees. Sadducees were the ones that said, we are wealthy, we are part of the 1%, and we're going to hang on to our wealth any way that we can. And there's not going to be any social programs. So we're going to vote down every social program that there is because we're going to hang on to our wealth. And then there was the Pharisees. Now, the Pharisees get a lot of bad press, okay? But the Pharisees were idealists. And most of the Pharisees were scribes. They were theologians. They followed the Torah, but they had a no compromise policy with Rome. They weren't going to compromise to Rome. And Jesus was a Jew. And the first 40 years of Christianity was based on the Jewish traditions and the Jewish Torah. We actually have no contemporary sources for the life of Jesus and his ministry. Whether you realize it or not, no one at that time wrote anything down. Contrary to what you may believe from somebody that told you, that grandma told you, or somebody else told you, that the Gospels were not written by the disciples of Jesus. In fact, the Gospels, they existed about 100 years before. And later Christians went and they ascribed names and authorships to those Gospels. The immediate background for the Gospels was the Jewish revolt against Rome in 66 through 73 CE, which ended in the destruction of both the Jerusalem and the temple. For roughly 300 years, the Christians were persecuted by Rome for angering the gods. Remember, Rome had several gods, not just one god. And in 1312, Emperor Constantine, he battled other contenders for the title of the Emperor of the Roman Empire. He won the battle. He won the Battle of Balaban Bridge in Rome, and he credited the victory to the God of the Christians. And this is when Christianity became the legal religion throughout and no longer was the subject of persecution. Now, It was the Emperor Constantine that made the cross the symbol of Christianity. Up until this time, the cross was a symbol of execution. Now, those of you who know me, and this is strictly personal for me, a very good friend of mine for Christmas bought me a sterling silver cross. And another friend who was with us said, "Oh, don't you know he doesn't wear crosses because it's a symbol of, uh, of execution." So it was during this time that there was no central authority, such as a pope or Vatican, that set standards. It was literally Emperor Constantine that said, okay, this is going to be how it is. When Constantine converted, he opted for the teachings of the church followers, which ultimately became the standard theology for Christianity. So when I talk to you about Jesus today, I'm not talking to you about ideology or idols, where we sit, and when we do ideology, we sit somebody up as an idol. We have an idol and we take the idol down when it's convenient for us, and we dust it off and it looks good. But I want to talk to you about the actuality, the actualizing of who Jesus was, who was God in us, through us, and as us. And what did I learn? And what do I learn? I quoted from A Course in Miracles earlier that Jesus says in the Course in Miracles, if you want to be like me, I can show you how, because we're all the same. And in his teaching, he taught from the premise, because people don't understand a spiritual premise. Even though we are spiritual beings, we don't always get that concept. So in order to have that concept, we have the concept of a family, a father, a brother, a sister. And that brings us more to a concept of unity with each other, because we understand what it's like to have a father. Although the truth is, if you have a father that was abusive, most of the time your concept of God is going to be one of a angry God, of an abusive God, because you identify God with father. So Jesus comes along and he tries to let people understand that the kingdom is within you, no matter what's happening on the outside of you. The rapings, the robbings, the being under the rule of Rome, being the slaves, that all of that was stuff that was going on, but you could have peace in the midst of that. Now, what else does he teach me? He teaches me that the miracles in my life come from the breaking in my life. Remember when Jesus went and he was going to talk to the crowd, and there was 500 men sitting there, plus the women and the children, and they were hungry and there was nothing to eat, as the story goes. And the little boy had the loaves and the fishes. So Jesus took the loaves and the fishes. First lesson: whatever you have in your hand, bless it. Don't curse it. Whatever you have in your hand. When you see somebody in a BMW or a Mercedes, bless them with it and say, that's for me too. Don't say, why did they have that? He took it, he blessed it, and then he broke it. And there was tuna fish sandwiches for everybody. And there was food left over. When we take what's in our hand and we break it and we share it, and we share it with people, miracles happen. Remember when the religious leaders, you know how religious leaders are, they like to point the finger. And they went And they said, hey, Jesus, you that teaches about the kingdom being inside, you peace-loving Jesus, that does the peace sign, okay? You maybe with the tie-dye t-shirt, okay? What do you think about this woman over here that she was caught in the very, uh, very throes of adultery? I don't know. Maybe they were upset because they weren't the ones she was having sex with. I don't know. But they weren't a happy campers. So Jesus bends down and he writes something in the sand. And he said, okay, y'all, you who don't have any faults, you who've never erred, you who've never mistakenly done anything, come on, you throw the first stone. And then he looked up and he said to the woman, where did they go? She said, they all left. He said, hey, you go on your way. I don't judge you either. I don't judge you. So what do I learn from this Jesus, my elder brother, the one that I look up to, the one that I use as a pattern for how I live my life? I learn that I'm not about judgment. I'm not about judgment. I'm about forgiveness. I'm about letting it go. For when you judge and have resentment, you know the saying, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Now that we're here in this Easter season, we're here at this season of new beginnings. We're here at this season of letting what doesn't serve us any longer and moving into new horizons. So what do I learn from this Jesus? Let it go. Let it go. Yes, he could have been on Frozen. Let it go. It does not matter what somebody said or what somebody did. What matters is that you are free. You are free, and you cannot go higher until you are free. What I learned from this Jesus, my elder brother. Remember Zacchaeus, the tax collector? He's up in the trees, and Jesus comes along, and he said, hey, come down that tree. I'm going home with you. I'm going to have dinner with you. Grandpa used to say to me, there's no difference between the upper crust and the lower crust. They're made out of the same thing. One's just stuck together with a little more dough than the other. So wasn't that Jesus? What I learned from Jesus, my elder brother, it doesn't matter whether you're a hooker. Doesn't matter whether you're the president. Who pays hookers? Well, that's a different story. Or it doesn't matter if you're the mayor of a town or if you have a title. What matters is that when I see you, that I see God in you and you see God in me. And that we don't judge people by the clothes they have on or the car they're driving, but we judge them and we realize that it is the kingdom of God that is within you. So today I'm closing with this thought. Make a deliberate decision in your mind. In your mind, make a deliberate decision to spend more time in the presence of those who you most closely align to in spirit. That means seeking out higher vibrational people. As you've heard me say many times, we vibrate in a three-dimensional, and we think what we can see is what we actually see, and understanding quantum physics, that it takes multiples of neutrons and neurons and molecules to make up what we consider to be a whole. But avoiding those who reflect more ego-orientated behavior patterns. Those who are in their ego more than in their God self. This Palm Sunday, use your intuition. That intuition, that's where the Godness speaks to you, to know if you're in the right place with the right people. Now, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling uninspired, I'll tell you, those people are not the sources of inspiration for you. So, just for today, take a look at the people you're hanging with. Are you hanging with the people that inspire you? Are you hanging with the people that raise you higher and take you higher? Hang with those people. For me, I'm hanging with the people that I see God in and I see love flowing from. And so it is today.
Thank you, Reverend Damien. There was a man, a very loving, enchanted man. They say he traveled very far over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he came my way. While we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest gift you will ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. There was a man, enchanted man. They say he traveled very far over land and sea. And then one day, magic day, he came my way. And while we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you will ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Thank you so much. Thank you. And once again, thank you also, Reverend Damien. Well, we are so glad that you could join us today. And I'm going to have Reverend Damien come up here.
Because you know what we forgot?
What did we forget?
We forgot
We didn't forget.
to give them a week to build.
Well, they still have a week.
They do.
Yeah, but we need to tell them all about it.
I'm showing you.
Okay.
You tell them.
Okay. We are going to have, of course, our Easter church hat. So you're going to make a fabulous hat whether it's beautiful. We're going to have different, are we having different categories?
Two.
We're going to have two categories there.
One is for the most beautiful.
Yes.
And one is for the craziest hat.
Yes.
And it can be drag hats, it could be bunny hats, it could be any kind of hats. Now, also, which I need to announce, is we're having brunch afterwards at the wonderful 849 restaurant
Mhm.
in Palm Springs. And if you're going to be doing that with us, then you need to direct message me
Mhm.
so I can put you on the list because we have a limited number of table seats for that. But you want to bring your shoes, a good pair of shoes
Mhm.
for homeless, and you want to bring your hat. Now, how's this going to happen that the hats are going to be? I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
The audience is going to decide who is the winner of the hat contest.
Oh, good.
So you want to win $50? Bring your friends. Have them vote for you.
There you go.
And oh, I'm always forgetting something, aren't I? And at 9:30 before the service at 10, we're doing coffee and donuts in the courtyard.
Yes, and I'm bringing the donuts. So, if people want to message me and telling me what kind of donuts you like, we'll make sure that they are there. And I also want to show you our ad here for our next week for our service of our wonderful guests that are going to be here. So please join us. And also watch below in our link, our wonderful Julian Hernandez always posts for us every week. If you have found value out of our service today, we always appreciate your gratitude. So there will be links there where you can send your gratitude either on PayPal or to our P.O. box. So with that, you want to come in and join me on this?
Thank you.
Let's close out our service today. And you know what? It's in every one of us. As you were saying today, it is in every one of us. All right, are we ready? It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, you and I. It's in every one of us, you and I. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to give you a big kiss to send you off on this week. Kindness is the word. Here we go. Are you ready? Mwah. You have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Same time, same station. Well, actually, next week, I'm sorry, it's going to be at 10 o'clock next week, and we're going to be broadcasting our live service from the Palm Springs Leisure Community Center. We'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.